Good evening, everybody. Happy September 14th to you. My name is Chris, and I run Dark Blue Charters here in Manistee, Michigan. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, if you are a returning watcher, subscriber, thanks for coming back. I do appreciate it. We got 10 people on here. It should crank up, though, pretty quick. So if somebody could let me know if you can see me, hear me okay. What's going on, MPA? I'm assuming you can hear me then and see me all right. I do appreciate that. If anybody else can just let me know real quick. Russell, good to see you. Sounds good. Thanks, Andrew. Hey, Mike. Welcome back, everybody. If, like I said, if loud clear from Jim Dabrowski, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Great. Hey, Dave. Hey, Bill. Blue Line Outdoors. Ernesto's on here. Good to see you, Ernesto. Look at all these people jumping on now. Thanks, everybody, for being on here. Dan Canham's on here, the moderator. If I missed anything, Dan is here to clean up my mess. He's always here. He's always got my back, so I appreciate you being here, Dan. And there are a lot of people jumping on now. We're up to 50, just like that. Daniel Robbins is on here from Black Sheep. Good to see you, Danielle. How's your dad, Dave? Bill Dickens is on here. Thanks. Good to see you also, Bill. I'm dragging just a little tonight. Just a little rundown. That's okay. We'll get through this pretty quick, and then we'll get everybody back to what they really want to do. Steve Steele, good to see you also. Somebody just super chat. Who did that? Jason C. Go Lions, man. I'll give you a heart on that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jason. You know how much that helps the channel out. So welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for clicking on the video. If you're coming back, like I said, after a long time viewership or just a couple, thanks for coming back. I do appreciate that also. And don't forget that these Sunday night live streams are proudly brought to you by DreamWeaver Lures and Smart Troll. Check them both out. The links are down below. Both will put more fish in the boat for you about every darn trip. I use them every day. Every day we're out there, we're using those things. So thanks for those sponsors for being on board here with us. And all right, let's get into this thing. First off, yeah, go Lions. That was a good game. Sorry, Chicago fans, if you're on here. Ernesto, I know you're on here. That was a good game. That was a good statement game. They came back in roaring today. I think they wanted to make themselves known that they are no joke again this year. So if you're a Bears fan, like I said, you got a good team and you're coming on strong without a doubt. If you're a Packers fan, that was a good game for you also. It's a good division this year without a doubt. It's going to be really, really competitive. So I'm excited to see how this goes. But yeah, we're definitely back into mainstream football time right now. Pretty cool to see the Lions though come back on that strong. So let's get right in the fishing report, so we don't hem and haw and bore everybody. So there's still good fishing on the Big Lake here out of Manistee. I know Ludington has slowed down. I don't know much about Frankfort lately, but I know that Ludington definitely has slowed down. I saw a boat up from Ludington just a couple of days ago, and I knew whose boat it was, and I mean he was all the way up in the Manistee waters, almost right outside Manistee. So I gave him a call, and we just joked back and forth for a minute. But he said, yeah, Ludington had slowed way down. So we've been fishing the pier heads lately. They are starting to slow down as the water is warming up. There's still a ton of fish in there. I think more fish are yet to be caught in there for sure as the season progresses, because there's still a bunch of fish still out in the deep water. So we're debating whether we want to go pier heads again tomorrow or we want to go out a little deeper. I'm leaning towards some deeper water now. Like I said, that pier head water is up to like the 65 range. Those fish are just not comfortable in there. It's still been a really good plug program, though. If you're going to go in the pier heads, I strongly recommend still running plugs. The DREAMWEAVER 4-inch plugs are still knocking it out of the park. The Black Sheep 4-inch plugs are still doing the same. We've been doing really well on that new DREAMWEAVER A-bomb plug. That's taken multiple fish on every trip. If you didn't get your hands on that in the last go around, I don't know if they're redoing that plug. I hope they do, because that plug has been a ripper for sure. Divers, we've been running spoons on our divers. We've taken at least one fish or two on divers on high divers set on 3.5. Normally 45 to 50 feet back around the pier heads. We've taken at least one fish on those divers on every trip. Downriggers, I spread my downriggers out. Normally I got one 10 to 12 down, one mid-range, and one down towards the bottom. They're taking hits also, and then spend 2, 3, and 4 colors on everything else. Everything plugs except for the high divers. Like I said, we've been running spoons on those. So speed-wise, it's been a 2.4 to 2.7 range for me. Directional-wise, obviously you're in the pier heads. Try not to be the guy going east-west. I had a guy going east-west today, and he cut right. I mean, coming from the west, coming back towards the pier heads, and everybody else is going north-south, and he goes right in front of me, and he's yelling at me to watch where I'm going, and I'm thinking to myself, first of all, he doesn't know the rules of the road. There's no danger of any collision or anything, but I just try not to be that guy, get in the mix and going against the grain. You know what I mean? Normally everybody goes north south, back and forth front of the periods, almost in a counterclockwise motion. So I get it. You want to do your own thing sometimes. Just be responsible. Try not to get in there and get everybody tangled up. It's spearheads. It's going to happen. I get it. We just wave back and said have a nice day, and no harm, no foul that way. But like I said, I think tomorrow we're going to push out a little deeper. We're going to go explore some waters, either straight out of Manistee or maybe to the south a little ways, maybe down towards the 12s. I'd like to see what that 150, maybe even out to 250. I'd like to see what that water's holding. I know there's still going to be some coho out there. I have no doubt that there's still 3 and 4-year-old kings out there. I know the break is super deep though. Top of the water is like 64, 65, and the break isn't showing up like the 50-degree water until you're down like in the 120 to 130 range. So it's going to be a deep program. I minimize when I go into my deep program. I don't run a whole lot of long lines. I'm normally running my downriggers, one just above that break, one just below the break, and then one, normally down 10, 20 feet below the break. So I go over to a big paddle program, DREAMWEAVER 11-inch paddles with long leads and flies. I go on those pretty heavy. The shoot down rigger is normally my deepest one. That almost always had 99.9% of the time that's got that big paddle on there, long lead with a fly. And then we'll spread the other downriggers out, maybe some smaller paddles or maybe even spoons. And then we're running our high divers back. They're back their ways. They're over 300 feet for sure, and the low divers over 200 feet for sure also. But you got to be careful when you're doing that. I've talked about this before, and I'm sure many people out here know what I'm talking about. When you're running those high divers and low divers back so far, when you do get hit, if that fish doesn't come to the back of the boat right away, there's a tendency they'll go right up into your long line. So you got to be careful running. If you're going to be running like 400, 450 coppers out there, you got to be really careful on that. Try to spread them out as far as you can. I tend to minimize when I go really, really deep. Maybe I'll just stick like a 2 or 3 color out there way away from the boat. Maybe find something up on top like a steelhead or two, maybe a errant coho up that way, or maybe even a king will be up there also sometimes. So just be careful, be cognizant of that. If you're going to go super deep, don't let your divers get caught up in that too much. Somebody just asked a question there. How far behind the ball with a big paddle? So when I'm going really, really deep like that, I don't go much past 20 to 25 feet. You got a real good chance if you're running long leads on your downriggers, if you're starting making turns and whatnot. If you got too long leads, there's a good chance you might tangle up your downriggers, get into other things like that. So just be careful. Try to keep at least a minimum of 10 feet between your downrigger balls. 20 feet's even better. So when you do make those turns, you don't get those tangled up because there's so much blowback on your downrigger balls. I'm running 16 pounders and you still get a lot of blowback. It's just the way it goes. And when you got that much blowback and you go into turns, you get an errant current or something, there's a good chance your downriggers could go right into one another or a diver. And I don't run shark weights and I don't run pancake weights, period. I've been on other boats I have, and I've tried them also, and they are an absolute tangle maker, especially when you're down deep. Those things have a tendency to want to do their own daggone thing at the worst possible time. The nose of that thing will catch just the wrong current at the wrong time, and they can shoot over it, and you'll tangle up all your downriggers like that. And it is a mess It is an absolute mess. Speaking of messes, we pulled in a really nice 22-pound king today in the pier heads, and that daggone thing, he he did us wrong. He went straight from the starboard side, straight across over to my side, and tangled up all three of my board lines. And there wasn't much of a daggone thing I could do about it. Boat traffic was a little heavy. I couldn't maneuver. I couldn't get my boards back. It was just I just watched it, and it was like a car crash in slow motion, you know. And we dealt with it. We actually retied everything, and we had all three long lines back out. My mate and I, Tim, we had all three long lines back out in probably 10 to 15 minutes. So it's those things happen, you know. That's fishing for you. But it was a really really nice king, big female, beautiful eggs out, you know, big, beautiful, big, giant, loose eggs. Took all those out, made some nice, gonna make some nice skein or spawn bags out of those. So, speaking of that, I'll talk about the river real quick. It's been super warm here in Manistee, and it's going to be even warmer over the next couple of days. The river is really hot. There's a bunch of kings in there, a bunch, ton of fish in there, literal tons. But they have shut down hard. We went out. I want to say really a big thanks to Derek and Carla from Rip and Drag Charters. They invited me out last night on their riverboat. They said, "Hey, you know, come along with us. We'll go do a little fishing." I jumped on the chance. Super nice people. I had a blast with them. I think we hooked up 5 or 6 kings. We only landed a couple. That's king fishing in the river for you. But you could tell that those fish were getting a lot more finicky. We didn't see many other boats hooking up with that warm water in there. So talked to Dave Novelli the other day from Nova Tackle, and he said the same thing. They were out last weekend. They had over 20 fish on. Last time they were out just a couple of days ago, they had 3. So big drop off. The fish are there, but the warm water has them just all boogered up. They don't know what to do. They're not ready to spawn. The water's way too warm. They're uncomfortable. When you do hook them up, they're really, really angry, which is fun. But it's going to be a really interesting king season throughout the next week with the warmer temps coming. After that, we start getting cooler temps and some rain. It's going to be game on, without a doubt. There's still a ton of fish in the big lake that are going to be coming in. A lot of fish yet to come into the system. Those fish in the system are going to turn back on. It's going to be really, really good fishing. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the riverboat. I only have 2 more big lake trips, and then I've booked up throughout the month of September on the river in the first week of October. But the second and third week of October should still be really good. If you want to get out with me, get on the river. If you've never done it, I highly recommend at least trying it. It is a tackle busting, knuckle bleeding good time out there on the river for those kings. So my website's down below. You can give me a call. Be happy to get you out there if you want to go check it out. So yeah, but Derek and Carla, thank you so much. If you're looking to take a river trip, if I'm booked up and you're looking to get on the river with those guys, Rip and Drag Charters, check them out. RIPPIN drag is, I think, is the way they spell it. And they do walleye trips in the spring. So the minimum I can do is give those guys a shout out for taking me out fishing last night. It was an awkward time for me. I'm so used to, you know, being the guy tying everything and doing everything just to sit there. They're such nice people. I mean, I'd get a break off and they're grabbing my stuff and they're retying it for me. I felt so weird, but highly recommend those guys. Really nice people. All right. Trying to think what else I could tell for you. River, of course, stick baits, thunder sticks, you know, chucking them up in the in the twillies there, you know, up in the thick stuff and just along the deep hole edge. Just skein, of course, is going to work for you, and it's going to definitely turn on. It's going to be some really good fishing here, really, really quick. So, what else can I do for you? I'm here. I'll answer some questions. That's the fishing report in a general expanded nutshell. There's still really good fishing on the big lake. The fishing on the river is going to be really good soon, and the season is far from over, everybody, far from over. So get back out there if you can. All right, what am I missing in the comments? What do you got? Ken Brescia from Tennessee. Good to see you, Ken. You're on here all the time. Always good to see you. Steve S., how's Skittles Plug been doing this year? We have not run it lately, Steve. There hasn't been a whole lot of coho around, so that's my #1 coho plug. So I have not run it very much. My best, like I said, my best plugs lately around the pier heads have been that DREAMWEAVER A-bomb has been really, really good. The Seahawk, of course, the Black Sheep version of the Seahawk, which I forget what the heck they call it. Hey, Ken, thanks for the super chat, man. That's really nice of you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Let me give you a heart on that, if I can. There we go. I forget what Black Sheep calls the version of the Seahawk. Electric something? I forget. Sorry, guys. I know you're on here. I apologize, but that's been really good. What else? The DREAMWEAVER 4-inch. It's a white plug. Got a green stripe on the back with a black ladder back. David Robbins from Black Sheep. Thanks, man. I'll give you a like on that also. What is going on here? There. What else? The Wonder Bread from DREAMWEAVER, the 4-inch Wonder Bread, also going. Somebody just asked, what do I use on what do you use on the pier? There's a couple different techniques. I'm not a pier fisherman, so I'm not. Electric Storm, thanks, Dave. That's the Black Sheep version of that. The guys on the pier, there's still a bunch of guys out there. Of course, they're casting spoons, cast masters, little Cleos. They're putting spawn out there as well. But I am not the guy to talk to about that. That is outside my pay grade. So I'm not gonna comment too much on that though. When do I think the steelhead will start coming into the river? Kirk, that's a really good question. In fact, Derek and Carla last night said they already hooked up a couple steelhead this year. They'll start coming in once the kings, really they're going to start coming in at any time. But they really start coming in once the kings start spawning and that river loads up with more spawn in the system. When those eggs are in the system, those steelhead are just in there gorging on them. I watched the steelhead ram into the kings while they're on gravel. They'll ram right into them just to knock the eggs loose. They're jerks. They'll ram into them, knock the eggs loose, and then they just sit back behind them, back behind the hole and the tail out, and just gorge on those things. So it should be, you never know. But steelhead are already coming in, and they're going to come in a lot stronger here pretty darn soon. Kind of program, what do I run for? Hey, Ernesto, lake trout program in October or mid-October. It all depends on water temps, Ernesto, and where the bait is. The lake trout will come back into the shallows in October if the water temps are right and the bait are in our system. I know you're down by Chicago, so I can't speak for you, but your typical lake trout bottom bouncing program or suspended program is going to work for you if that's where the bait is for them. They're just like us. Wherever the food is, they're going to go. I see a pretty good buffet. I'm probably going to go chase after it. So that's what I'd be looking for. Hey, Leroy from Purple Tacos on here. Good to see you. Tim Schloud's on here from Whistling Dipsy Charters. Good to see you, Tim. He's saying, yeah, steelhead are already starting to show up out there in the deep waters. That's a really good sign that they're going to start coming towards the pier heads pretty soon. My mouth is super dry. I'm so thirsty today. I know I'm dehydrated. I'm behind on sleep. My eyes are dragging and droopy, so I need to get some fluids in me and get some sleep. But I got to be back on the water tomorrow. Somebody just said they picked up 3 steelhead in the big lake today. Great. What's that say? Carla? I'm not sure if that's the Carla I was talking about earlier or not. But hey, yeah, that's great. Oh, Blue Line. I'm sorry. That's Blue Line Outdoors. I thought that was Thin Blue Line Outdoors. Apologize there. Too many Blue Line Outdoors. You get me confused. Bob Hunter's on here also. Good to see you, Bob. Hey, that's what I got for you. I've got 105 people on here. We're 20 minutes deep into this thing. Lions won today. I'm pretty darn happy. I got to go fishing in the morning. I need to go eat something also. Trying to think what else I wanted to throw out there at you guys real quick. As the season's winding down, you guys know that I'll be back in DREAMWEAVER Studios a lot more. In the summertime, it's just hard for me to get down there. Once summertime winds down, I can get guests back in there. We get back on some really good topics for you guys. We'll have some more guests coming in talking about their home port, and we'll start that home port series back up. I do want to get one of my cameramen back on the water for some steelhead river trips, maybe some king trips also. I'm working out the logistics on that in my head, how I want to do that, because I don't want to give up, out of respect for the river guides that are out there, I don't want to give up too much intel out there because you can ruin I don't want to say ruin, but you can really overpopulate a river system pretty quickly with too much information out there. So I do want to be respectful of those guys. I do want to do some videos for you guys as well, but I got to figure out a way where I'm not giving away too much information, but still putting out good content. So I'm juggling that in my feeble brain. We'll come up with something for you though. So the Big Lake videos are done for the year as we're winding down, but I do want to start giving you more content on that also. Chris Olson, good to see you also. All right, I'll give you here a couple more minutes, and then if you got more questions, throw them out there. If not, we're going to pop smoke and get out of here. Thanks for the thumbs up, MPA. That does help the channel. At a minimum, if this channel helps you out in any way, if you just hit the thumbs up, that's wonderful. It does help the channel. It puts the signal to the algorithm that I'm doing something at least some people like. Jeff Abram, good to see you. Charlie Reeves, Chris, do you normally run a 124 mil divers per side? Yes, absolutely, Charlie. I don't want to miss that comment. Thanks for the super chat too. Yeah, my low divers are 124s and my high divers are 107s. Yep, I do. There's a lot of videos on this channel showing exactly how I set those things up. Swamp Rat, thanks for the thumbs up also. Bill Gerlach, also, you too. Thanks, Bill. I'll get some sleep here soon. No worries. All right. Who to buy a Massey for a Steelhead River charter? Trying to get a good suggestion who to book in Massey for a Steelhead River charter. I'd be happy to take you. I run them. It's what I do in the wintertime. If you want to go, my website's down below. Just give me a call. Happy to get you on the books. Yeah, you're absolutely SPG. Yeah, Lions and the Ravens next Monday night. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really good game. Looking forward to that. That could be very telling on how the season's going to go. So we'll see. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being on here. I'm going to go grab something to eat, grab a couple hours of sleep, and I will be back next Sunday night, 7 p.m., and we'll talk about that then. Our date's open for river charters. What month do you end? I go all winter long. I start right now, and I go all the way through the end of April. So go on my website down below. All the information is right there for you. If you're looking for a river trip, I'd be happy to get you out there. Yeah. Salty water fishing there, yeah. The Manistee Lake has been a little crazy. It's been awful darn crowded in there for sure. But everybody's been very respectful as I come through. All the jigging boats have been moving out of the way. So thank you. If you're one of them, thank you very much for just parting the seas so I can at least get through there without playing bumper boats. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Have a great night.